Thank you for joining us for this Happy Friday Committee mindset episode dealing with the 6 principles of being fearless, resilient, intuitive, determined, appreciative, and youthful. Today we have a special guest, a very special guest, Mr. James Kyles, who is a youth outreach. He does mentorship. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Excellent, excellent. And my son is actually in his organization. This brother does a whole lot with the community, and I just want to actually celebrate him today, dealing with the Happy Friday Committee mindset and just get his perspective on that. And I wanted to start with the first word being fearless. And I wanted to frame this in the terms of the whole, how you started from the beginning up until now.
Gotcha.
So from the beginning, because this is a lot dealing with the youth and mentorship. Correct. So starting from the beginning, what made you fearless enough to start a outreach program like this?
Well, keyword is fearless. Definitely. That is one keyword, fearless. Afraid, in the whole process, the unknown. I was raised in a home where both parents were involved in Destined for Greatness in my life, I should say. And so what inspired me was pretty much I had a sister, which is my sister. I won't say had because she's still my sister. I've noticed as a young boy being raised in a Christian home, my sister inspired me because I was raised, in church. I was involved in the community, very active in school as well. And I just saw a lot of things that my sister endured as an adult growing up. I was a young uncle at the age of 11. And I saw her suffer as a single mother, going through divorce, going through an abusive relationship as well. And so my parents had me involved very heavily in the community, in the forefront, in church. I was so actively involved. And so since I was so actively involved, I really wanted to create an atmosphere, create a space for young people as I got older, to create a space, a safe haven for young people to come around, to be tutored, to be empowered. And so I guess it comes from as a child, my parents instilled those roots in my life. And so it really inspired me to just go on and give back to other children. But I would say most of all, it was my sister. I just saw her struggle. And I said, can we have a safe place for young people to come, for single parents? Because we have single dads as well, who are part of our organization. So I guess it really just started as a young child being involved at a young age in the community. And I wanted to give back as I got older because I was so heavily involved in other things as well, as a child.
Excellent, excellent. Well, the next principle is resilience. Getting young single mothers and fathers as well to bounce back from their situation. What does that take?
I guess it takes consistency and trust. And trust, I would say you have to build trust with families. We deal with those mothers who are raising young boys, the absence of a father. You're dealing with grandparents who have full custody of their grandchildren where, the mother is not involved or the father is not there. And then you have single dads. And so I guess building that trust, but being consistent, with the parents throughout the whole entire process, that is very key, with our families that we deal with and families just in general,
Yes, sir. The next principle would be intuitive. How does your intuition play a role in terms of, which implies your purpose? How did that play a role in this whole Destined for Greatness, the name and everything? What inspired you?
What inspired me to really just start this organization? I guess being passionate, me being a uncle myself, being a youth president, being a part of Boy Scouts growing up. I guess just my involvement as a child, my family, my parents had me heavily involved in many things as a child. So I guess giving back was always my passion, to give back to others. Yes, that was always instilled in me as a young Black male, is to give back. And so if I can give back, I know that my living is not in vain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Excellent answer. The next principle is determination. And how do you remain determined and continuing to help the community?
I would say through prayer. That's number one. Through prayer.
Simple.
Simple, but also knowing that you've had, I've allowed, with our organization, we've had over 1,000 youth over 12 years, because we've been in existence for 12 years.
Wow.
We've had over 1,000 youth to come through our organization. But knowing when you have that one child, it doesn't take 1,000 kids, just that one child where that mother comes back and say, Mr. Kyles, thank you for what you have imparted into my son. It's enough for me to keep going. Wow. Many times we look at the numbers, which is great. We have over 200 kids in Destined for Greatness right now. But just if I can just touch one child, impact one child's life, that's enough for me to keep going.
Wow.
That's enough for me to keep going. Just recently, we had a dad to come back to our organization, and his son graduated through Destined for Greatness 10 years ago. Single dad raising 3 boys. The mother was not around. Big kudos to him. But he came out and just reached out to me a couple weeks ago and said, Mr. Kyles, my son is working. He's married. My other son is playing basketball. My other son is doing well. He just wanted to come back and say thank you. Wow. That right there meant a lot to me. Just the simple word thanks goes a long way. And so my purpose on earth is just to give back. And just if we can just impact one child, like I said, my living is not in vain. I stick to that word. My living is not in vain.
That's amazing that you just went into the next principle, which is being appreciative. And you said just that one word, thanks.
Thanks.
Is enough. And, just being appreciative, and we're appreciative for what you do. Could you expound more on that word appreciative and gratitude and what that means?
As I've gotten older, I've learned to be more appreciative of things. Not saying that I wasn't appreciative as a child growing up, because we were so used to just getting everything we want as a child from my parents. They gave us everything. We had everything. But life experiences teach you how to be appreciated and be thankful for things. Prime example, feeding the homeless. We fed the homeless with the kids. Oftentimes, we don't know what others go through until we visually see it. And so giving back has always been my passion, but just being thankful and appreciative. As I've gotten older, that word really sinks. It sits deeply in my whole my being, just to give thanks for not just everything, but just for the little things as well, and so I'm always grateful. I've learned to appreciate the smaller things as well in life.
Wow. The next and last principle is being youthful. How do you remain youthful and doing what you do?
Well, I'll give a shout out. Look, your son and all these other kids, they keep us youthful, as an organization. I'm telling you, they keep us youthful. That's a good question. I've learned to sometimes, I just put a post on Facebook recently to relax, sit back, relax, and have a balanced life. But to remain youthful for me is just meditation, eating healthy and really just turning away from things that are negative to your soul. If that's friendships, if that's relationships, if that's going to certain events, to me, that adds years to my life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So really just getting away from negativity, lately I've been big on fitness. That's one thing we're trying to teach our kids, about health. Health is very key. So I'm really, learning to meditate more and to eat better and just really just to read books, even reading books. I've learned to read books. And so these kids in Desperate Greatness, they'll keep you youthful. They'll keep you youthful.
And so, the last and final question would be, out of all these principles, being fearless, resilient, intuitive, determined, appreciative, and youthful, which one means the most to you and why?
Fearless.
Wow.
Not being afraid, just fearless. Youthful, that comes and go, but being fearless, knowing that I can, what others have counted me out. A lot of people have counted me out, but it's just fearless for me, it's just being bold, being consistent, being passionate. When people say you can't do it, I'm saying, hey, I can do it. I can do it. So fearless to me stands out more than anything else. And sometimes you have to learn to do things afraid. Sometimes I don't have resources. Sometimes we don't have the money or anything. I've learned to do things afraid sometimes.
Wow.
You never know until you try.
Absolutely.
So it takes,
yeah. Learn to do things afraid. That's, man, powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
Powerful. Definitely. Very, very powerful. Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank you for coming on and taking time out of your busy schedule to do this. What do you have going on right now as far as any needs or anything that you needed as far as?
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you once again meeting with me as well. As you all know, being the founder and president of the organization, we're a nonprofit 501c3 organization, been around for 12 years. We serve elementary, middle, and high school kids. So a lot of kids are raised in single parent households. And so we deal with mentorship and tutoring programs as well. Our main goal is to build our youth center. That is my passion, is to build a safe haven for kids. We understand that gun violence is very strong right now. Kids are dealing with depression, suicidal. We have kids who have ADHD. We have emotions. Emotions are all over the place because of the pandemic. So I want to create an atmosphere where kids can come be empowered, to be tutored, a safe place. We call it a home from home.
Yes,
and that is our motto, a safe home from home. Every home is not safe, though, but we want to have a safe home. So that is one of the things that we're trying to create and build, is a youth center, a state-of-the-art youth center here in Atlanta, Georgia. Also, we have a lot of events that are coming up where individuals can come and be a part of the organization. They can volunteer their time financially. They can give for this youth center, or if they want to sponsor a child. Many times parents, they struggle, even during pandemic, they struggle. And so they can go to our website at www.dfgyouth.org. There's opportunities where you can become a monthly sponsor. We have partners with Destined for Greatness from all around the world. There are incentives for your donation as well. And you can be a part. We'll definitely highlight your business. If you have an individual business, if you have a ministry, whatever, we will highlight your business on our website, market your company throughout the social media platforms. So there's ways to give to the organization, either if it's sponsoring a child or giving to our building fund campaign. That's some things that you can give as well to help the cause.
And I'll have that posted at the end of this interview. But again, thank you for coming on. And thank you for the work that you do. And we'll talk offline, but thank you.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate your time.